One of the most feared things are snakes. Now, some people like them, and you'll see them wrapped around them. We once had a garage sale, and a lady showed up, and she had this little tiny boa constrictor wrapped up in her hair. Ugh. But for most of us and many of us, snakes are uncomfortable, and snake bites are not something to be wanted. So when we hear in Numbers 21 that the people of God started grumbling once again, complaining, oh, that we're out here and we have this horrible food to eat. God was providing for them, they just didn't like what they were getting. God allowed the snakes then to come in. People started being bitten by snakes. People started dying. Now, remember, the root cause of this is the sin of the people. They cry out to Moses. They want Moses to ask God to remove the snakes. God doesn't. Instead, God tells Moses, raise up a staff in the wilderness with the image of a bronze snake. When someone is bitten by a snake, they can look to that image, they can look up to that staff and be saved. The idea is trusting God's promise. Isn't that the answer for us too? To look to God and to God's promise and to hold fast to the promise that God has made to us? Jesus tells us in John 3 that the Son of Man must be lifted up just as Moses lifted up a snake in the wilderness. The point being is that as Jesus is raised up on the cross, there we see God's promise fulfilled. Death is conquered, sin is forgiven, hope is given. That's what we're going to be talking about this week. How we as the people of God grumble and moan, how we struggle with living in this world, and how God gives us a promise that will not let us go. Let us be turning our hearts to God. Let us trust God at God's word. That's what we'll be talking about this week at First Lutheran Church, Galveston.